Hey, hello everybody. Good morning, good evening, good night, konnichiwa to you all, and welcome to this simple take / intake as we look towards New Japan Pro Wrestling's 49th anniversary and the anniversary show coming up. It'll be headlined, of course, by the very last defense of the IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental Championships by Kota Ibushi, as he defends them against the newly crowned IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion El Desperado, who really had a breakout moment this past Sunday morning on Castle Attack Night 2. And I thought Castle Attack Night 2 was a very good success. God successfully defended the titles against Goto and Yoshihashi. I thought that was a really good match, but I like the fact that God called out the Good Brothers and FTR top guys. It just goes to show you that they're ready for anything, and anything can happen in the world of tag team wrestling. I'm kind of curious how Tenzin got away with the shots, but it led his team to victory as Tenkozy did beat the United Empire. It's been a tough run since the United Empire has been formed. And of course, the match I felt like was very methodical, calculated, a different pace, but still as intense and a classic as ever, as Tetsuya Naito went after to become the last IWGP Intercontinental Champion and stop this man's philosophy and vision, but came up short with a Kamagoye knee drop down, and that's it. That's all. And of course, what really surprised me is one of Yota Tsuji's merit and one of Tanahashi's will, as he successfully defended the IWGP Never Openweight Championship against Great Khan. Hey, Mark, what's up? I'll get some sleep. I always get sleep, whether afterwards or before. So I'm good. This is just a simple take. Get some rest, brother. And I look forward to doing Spark with you one of these days soon. Maybe for a Revolution. We'll see what happens. Overall, though, Castle Attack, very successful show. One man's vision stayed intact. One man legacy finally got fulfilled. Both these men, great journeyman. I think it's very fitting that they're going to main event the anniversary show. As we move on from there, we have press conference regarding events to come to the anniversary show, as well as our New Japan Cup. And we now have the field for our New Japan Cup. And I must say, this is a very stacked field. Again, we have some first timers. We have multiple time entrants, and we have multiple time winners and people who came up short and are still looking for that first shot. And there are people, I'm sure, that are favorites as well that really want to win this. But I look at this cup and I think about right now everything going on in New Japan Pro Wrestling. There is so much to think about when it comes to New Japan and who I think could win the New Japan Cup. Hello, Elizabeth. It doesn't happen often, but I figured why not? Great way to stay awake after getting some rest beforehand. I guess I am a late nighter, not an early morning bird, but there you go. And of course, I'll be watching the anniversary show live and giving a simple take after that. With that being said, our anniversary show will start off the New Japan Cup 2021 with a couple of opening matches, as well as our main event, which will be the end of two eras. And I still can't believe that they're doing what WWE did back in freaking 2014. I have mixed feelings towards it, considering the legacy that the heavyweight and the Canal Championship have left, with greats like Hiroshi Tanahashi, Shinsuke Nakamura, Kazuchika Okada, Kota Ibushi, MVP, the list goes on and on when it comes to both these titles and their legacies. Appreciate it, brother. But anyway, why don't we go ahead and discuss the anniversary show and look ahead towards what maybe New Japan Cup, maybe our surprise upsets we hope to happen, and maybe our potential winners or even our potential top four. If you haven't already, I encourage you to go to Voices of Wrestling. They have an interactive bracket and contest going on. I filled out mine. So if you want a chance to win some money to give to Token Shop to buy some gear, or if you just want a chance to say, hey, maybe I could call it right, then go ahead and test your luck. Let's see what you guys say about the bracket. Fearing another evil Naito counter. Haven't we had enough of those matches? Yeah, considering Evil got a bye because he won the New Japan Cup last year. But on the other side, you saw on the bottom right, the ace of New Japan, Hiroshi Tanahashi, also got a bye too after successfully defending his never overweight title against Great Khan in one heck of an incredible never overweight match that really took Great Khan and Tanahashi's rivalry to the limit. I was fairly impressed. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at the anniversary card. So we kick off with previews of the matches to come in the opening round, as we have an 8-man tag. It'll be Hiroki Goto, Tamaki Koma, Gabriel Kidd, and Master Wato teaming up against my faction, my boys Suzuki-gun, Kasa Ninare, led of course by the King Minoru Suzuki, and the Holy Emperor, Taiji, Zack Sabre Jr., and Dulkai. As we know, 6 of these men are involved in the New Japan Cup. The other 2 are looking from the outside, hoping maybe one day be a part of this. And I feel maybe trying to set up their own momentum, not just for this year, but for the impending Best of Super Juniors 28. Now, of course, they will be gunning after El Desperado. So glad ELP did not win that match. Thank you, Bushi, for that save. Anyway, I look at this match and I think about the outside factors coming into play here. I see Homa, I see Tukai, I see Minoru Suzuki definitely preying on these guys. I see Gabriel Kidd testing his merit against Zack Sabre Jr., a fellow Englishman, and of course, Kuroki Goto and Taiji is an inevitable opening round match to come. But with that being said, I look at this team, I look at the factions, I look at the more united front. I think Suzuki-gun is going to come out on top of this. And I feel that Minoru Suzuki and Taiji are going to lead by example, but maybe renew some subtle hostilities that we saw develop during the G1 that they both were involved in too. Moving on from there, we go into a 10-man tag that showcases a plethora of people, including the 2 on the bye, as well as 8 other participants in the New Japan Cup with opening matches respectively. We have Hiroshi Tanahashi with the coach, Misuze Taguchi, Toa Hanare, David Finlay, and Juice Robinson, you know, Thin Juice. They take on the team of Bullet Clubs, Evil, Jay White, Taiji Ishimori, Chase Owens, and Kenta. With all 5 of the men of Bullet Club really looking for a jump start to their year. Jay White right now with the most confidence, I feel like literally calling this the new J-Pan Cup. I feel like it's almost kind of obvious to think that Bullet Club is going to pick up the win and some momentum here. But I also look at the other side. You got the coach, who, of course, did beat Jushin Thunder Liger in one of his very last matches. That definitely pleasantly surprised me. But right now, looking at the opening round matches to come and the participants involved here, I think that Jay White will lead Bullet Club to victory heading into his opening bout with Toru Hanare. Kudos to Toru Hanare getting this opportunity, especially after what he and the Ace did during the World Tag League last year. I thought Hanare's had a pretty good run. Jay White versus Toru Hanare should be a ride. Some are sensing an upset here. If that was the upset, that would be the upset of the year. But I do sense upsets because, again, New Japan is anything but predictable. I do sense upsets will happen. I don't think that's going to be one of them. But I'll talk more briefly about that maybe a little later. Anyway, as we move into our next match, it is Chaos versus LIJ. As Chaos's Sho, Tomohiro Ishii, and Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada, they take on the trio of Bushi, Shingo Takagi, and Sanada. Right now, looking at these 6 men, Tomohiro Ishii is going to try and bring out the best fight out of everybody while preserving himself in his own pain. And you have Okada with this renewed confidence after beating Evil with a Rainmaker. I feel like right now that favor Fortune's Chaos here. And of course, you have Bushi and Sho looking from the outside, trying to set their pace for 2021. Both men coming up short in pursuing the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Sho, of course, earlier this year at the New Beginning, and Bushi in that triple threat that we just saw at Castle Attack. Yep, you know, starting the day off right with some New Japan chat. I'm already rested, and I'm probably going to play Samurai Jack after I'm done with this. With that being said, good to see you. Looking at this 6-man tag, I feel like here that favor right now favors Chaos when it comes to momentum. Shingo Takagi, I know, is a favorite for everybody going in, and hopefully he does go far in this. But again, could be an upset, but he's also facing Okada in the opening round. And strictly because I'm looking at Okada and Shingo and the type of momentum or picture they can set up towards their opening match, I feel like Chaos right now is going to win this opening tag. And I feel like Sho's going to pick up the win, pinning Bushi. Because I feel like right now, Sho has the most potential this year to really break out again, not only in this division, but maybe even the heavyweight division. But he also isn't involved in the New Japan Cup. I think he deserves something. Which leads me right into the New Japan Cup, because the anniversary show will mark the start of the New Japan Cup with 2 opening matches. And one, of course, is a first time ever, while the other one, there's some prior history. The first match will feature Satoshi Kojima, and he takes on United Empire's Jeff Cobb. Kojima being involved in this now 3 years in a row, 8th time. Jeff Cobb, his first time ever in the New Japan Cup. I keep thinking about the United Empire and the message they want to send. And I think about the talent involved in it too. And I think about right now, you look at the United Empire since their foundation, outside of tag matches on the road to, they really have not had a great run as a faction or really any real momentum behind them. I feel like Satoshi Kojima, he tried to go for the Lariato back at Castle Attack, and he came up a little short after Jeff Cobb literally countered him into an attempted tour of the islands. And of course, Jeff Cobb, he wants a little bit of redemption following that opening tag loss to Tenkozy. I don't think Tetson's going to be in Kojima's corner, but Kojima is one of those guys that really has surprised me what he has been doing this year ever since these opening bouts where he wins Lariato, and of course the match with Kenta back at Wrestle Kingdom. But Jeff Cobb needs some sort of momentum if he truly is going all in on this New Japan run. So I feel like here in this battle of heavyweights, Cobb's going to break the statistics and turn this into a one-on-one affair as far as this grudge goes. I have Cobb advancing. What do you got here, Elizabeth? Believe it or not, got Shingo going all the way to the quarters. Okada already have him out in the first round. Ooh. Now, it's interesting you mentioned that because, again, Okada, who seems to now finally be bringing back the Rainmaker, it was Shingo Takagi that suddenly teased a Rainmaker of his own against Okada last year in the G1. And Shingo Takagi, of course, no longer Neverweight champion. You wonder if that's on his mind, or does he want to go after the top prize now, as we have seen the stare downs between Kota Ibushi and Shingo Takagi. So you might be onto something. Again, is that an upset waiting to happen, and will it happen? I don't know. But anyway, as far as the very first match Japan Cup goes, I got Jeff Cobb. And yes, I have filled out my bracket completely. Now, moving on from there, our other opening bout of the New Japan Cup will feature a first time ever, as Tetsuya Naito, coming off an incredible match, but lost to Kota Ibushi for their Intercontinental Championship, as we lay its legacy to rest. He takes on Great-O-Khan, who now enters his first ever New Japan Cup. And Naito, of course, he is now in this for the ninth time, and it's first in 2 years, and he won it back in 2016, but it was really the year of LIJ. So, again, looking at this, I think about that, the United Empire. They really need to build some momentum towards themselves. I've seen the subtle stare down back and forth with Jeff Cobb and Great-O-Khan. I feel that's a match inevitably waiting to happen. And we all saw how Great-O-Khan and Jeff Cobb really fared as a tag team in last year's World Tag League. I keep wondering if Tetsuya Naito really ever is fully tranquilo, or is this really the first upset we see here? Does a former winner get upset by someone debuting? With Great-O-Khan, and I know he wants still more of Tanahashi, I feel like right now that Great-O-Khan, he's going to do anything possible to move past Naito. But Naito and Tanahashi are two different animals. But looking at everything Tetsuya Naito has done and looking at how far Tetsuya Naito has gone through New Japan, it's kind of hard to bet against this. Man, it's kind of hard to bet against all the greats when you think about it. And honestly, Tetsuya Naito and Okada, if things work out, could be revisited in this New Japan Cup. With that idea in mind, along with so many others, I actually had Tetsuya Naito going over Great-O-Khan here because, again, it's the first time ever one-on-one encounter. It should be a very interesting, strong style affair. I'm sure Great-O-Khan is going to attack the legs of Naito because that's probably the most vulnerable part. But I feel like Naito right now will at least make it through his opening bout with Great-O-Khan, and we'll see what's next. What you doing? Playing Fantasy Star Online 2 while tuning in? Just glad to be here. Hey, glad to see you. And that's a great game. As a fan of Sega Classics, I mean, I used to stream like Sonic, for example, on Twitch till my PC kind of wasn't up to the performance and time eluded me. To be honest, because of what's going on with work right now, promotions and projects, I'm lucky. I'm happy to just do this and be awake for my passion, which is wrestling. Praise before passion when it comes to my life. But hey, have fun. The fact that I've never played Final Fantasy either as a tangent, I feel like I should download Final Fantasy Remake and try it since I am PS Plus. But I got the whole month to think about that. Just saying. Anyway, I got Tetsuya Naito going forward here, which leads us to our main event, and truly a first and last time ever, as we say goodbye to the IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental Championships together, as the defended for the last time ever. against the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion and one half of the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions in El Desperado, who literally had his mask ripped off, was power drive, somehow came back to life, hand on Max, and literally endured against ELP and Bushi to survive and put ELP down once and for all, as the kick did not find its mark. Thank goodness. And I bet Joseph Thunder Liger couldn't be happier. Final Fantasy loved their music. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Final Fantasy's up there as one of the greatest video game soundtracks of all time. And that's saying something. Kudos to Square Enix. So I look at this match, and it almost seems like the writing's on the wall. As far as New Japan Cup, upsets are likely to happen, okay? I'm sure there's going to be moments like, what the hell? But when I think about El Desperado, his incredible journey and rise now leading this division as champion while Hiromu is out, I just cannot see El Desperado as a belt collector. This should be another incredible match. Definitely a different test of Kota Ibushi, even though these are two men with a similar journey and a similar, I would think, take when it comes to why they do this, why they love this, and probably what they want to do with this, too. Even though Kota Ibushi subtly kind of written off this whole idea of El Desperado, saying that he sucked that night 7 years ago, as we renew history. With that being said, I'm sure Desperado is not going to let that comment lay to rest, and I feel like he's going to definitely prove how far he has come against Kota Ibushi. But I got Kota Ibushi clearly retaining these titles and retiring them as champion. As we did learn at the press conference, folks, the chairman, Shikobayashi, he has officially confirmed the IWGP Heavyweight Continental will now become IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. New belt entailing these titles will be retired. I have no idea what that entails. I find this crazy. I'm not sure if I love it. I'm not sure if I'm fully behind it. I'm honestly not sure if I'm ever going to really hate it, because when it comes to New Japan, you can't argue with the value, prestige, and vision of this company, presentation, and also its champions and championships. But combining your top two titles, removing them both from the process, or even though the heavyweight and the world heavyweight you feel like would likely be the same, I do find it weird. I mean, when I think about a title New Japan don't need among the 8+ total titles they have, KOPW, if you want to count that as well, number 9, I feel like the 6th man should have been retired, if nothing else. It baffles me that one of the last real prestigious white belts and the Intercontinental Championship in itself is done. You think about the great men that have held it, Minoru Suzuki, freaking Shinsuke Nakamura, Hasamoto, Tetsuya Naito, who, of course, has the longest running history, I feel like, with this title. Chris Jericho even held at one point. I can't believe it. It still hasn't fully sunk up to me inside me yet. You see my words as also, because, again, and then really the truest, greatest belt in all professional wrestling, not to be heavyweight championship. I still can't friggin' fathom that being retired. Okada, Tanahashi, Kota Ibushi, Jay White, Kenny Omega, AJ Styles, Satoshi Kojima, Kajimura, the list goes on and on. It's just baffling to me. Of all things that I thought would ever happen in professional wrestling, and the idea of how open the industry feels like now, I never thought I would see both these titles become one. Truly, New Japan will never be the same again. And whether or not this is forever going forward, I would imagine it has to be, because, again, if you try and go backwards, I don't know necessarily if people can get behind that. Either way, it's kind of like catch-22, double-edged sword. All I can say is, Kota Ibushi, good luck in your vision, and New Japan Pro Wrestling, as far as the Intercontinental and Heavyweight Championship goes, arigato. What you got here, Sandy? Not having with the belts being unified, to me, it feels like Ibushi erased all history, but something we'll just have to live with. Yeah, it feels like we're rewriting history, as Ibushi says he doesn't want to forget the past. He doesn't even want to get rid of one, let alone both of them. He wants to raise them, turn the strongest and the greatest belts as one to raise the identity of both of them and professional wrestling and its outreach. It just still feels weird to me. But again, we're just going to have to wait and see. I'm not going to assume. I'm not going to prejudge. I'm just going to watch along and wait and see what happens. And that's really all I got to say about that, as we are literally less than 3 hours away from the event live in the Nippon Budokan, as we kick in the 49th anniversary of New Japan Pro Wrestling and officially kick off New Japan Cup 2021. And that's really all I have to say about that. Talk about upping the ante. Yeah, I guess. I mean, to be fair, we'll see what this title is, and we'll see the first ever IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match after the New Japan Cup, as the winner faced Kota Ibushi for it at Sakura Genesis in April. Again, we're going to have to wait and see, but it still baffles me, and that's really all I got to say about that. Anyways, good night, Sandy. And I'm just going to keep it simple here, folks, because that's all I got for now. But again, the New Japan Cup, it is underway. Go fill out your bracket if you haven't already. I'd love to hear your comments, your thoughts, your questions, upsets you hope to happen, surprises. Maybe you're top four. Maybe you're where to pick it all. I look at this bracket and I think about the people that can stand out to win this. Top four, in my opinion: Jay White, Shingo Takagi, Will Ospreay, Okada. And that's really all I got to say about that for now. As this New Japan Cup continues to develop, I will definitely keep you updated on my bracket, as well as the results that surprised me, I got wrong, that shocked me, and honestly, we'll see if I'm right. Because again, I feel it's got to be one of those four people, but I just can't decide which one of the four right now. And I know that means I pretty much have Shingo Takagi being eliminated in the opening round. I would love to see an upset, but again, Dragon Gate, New Japan, there's always that subtle thing. But I digress. Anyway, folks, thanks for tuning in to this simple take, intake, and preview of what's to come at the anniversary show as we open up the New Japan Cup as well. Stay tuned for further updates, as I will also be bringing you updates regarding NJPW Strong, including a simple take of the opening day and the anniversary show some point tomorrow. And you want to know more about me, know this: I'm just a simple man and a lifelong fan of wrestling. Follow me on Twitter and Foster1916, Instagram for a positive motivation and wrestling memorabilia as I share more of my autographs. I just got Cheetah. And Foster1916 on Instagram. Keep following the Civil YouTube channel for random out of nowhere and sometimes scheduled live content, mostly all around wrestling too, at youtube.com/C/NoFussTen for all things wrestling. Shout out to my ATW family on Twitter. With that being said, folks, if you know me by now, you know what I'm about. I simply leave you with this: there are no winners, there are no losers, there are no betters. There are just fans with their own opinions, and their own identities and passions for this sport, art, performance, you name it, that we call wrestling. So at the end of the day, folks, just enjoy life and enjoy wrestling. Simple as that. With that being said, thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. Hit the bell to know this video goes on this channel. Hit the subscribe button, help me keep going this channel. And shout out to all 187 of you that will meet me on this fun YouTuber creators journey. It's not late by anytime soon. Upcoming content includes AEW Spark Special for AEW Revolution, preview, predictions, and Dynamite and Dark Outlooks as well. So much happening in AEW, so stay tuned for much more on that. There also will be continued coverage of New Japan Cup, as well as New Japan Cup USA. I'm going to start talking about Strong. We got Impact Wrestling stuff coming up too with Sacrifice. We got NWA stuff coming up this month. We got WWE stuff. So a lot of stuff to come, but in the short run, stay tuned for more AEW and NJPW. Until the next video, which will be some point literally the same day, later on today. Take care, enjoy life. Tomorrow's never guaranteed. Treasure your families, and enjoy wrestling. There's more of it now than ever. So find some promotion, company, persona, art, match, something that connects with you. And let me see what you said here. What's your New Japan Cup final? Mine is Naito versus Zack Sabre Jr. I'm still debating, but I honestly can see it being a Wrestle Kingdom rematch between Okada and Ospreay, or I could see Shingo Takagi and Jay White. Those are kind of the two ways I'm going right now. I am not officially affirmed, and I feel like tomorrow those preview tags will kind of give me a better idea. So stay tuned on that, but those are my brief thoughts. So with that being said, folks, thank you again. Be safe, be smart, be positive. We're all going to get through this pandemic style of watching, living, and enjoying wrestling together, where one day we will be able to enjoy it live in mass, safe and sound. And I hope with that, you all can catch the anniversary show live, or when you can, I hope you all do enjoy it. Give New Japan a chance if you haven't already. And until the next video, have a wonderful day, night, evening, whatever you may are. Goki Genyo, and sayonara.